Did you know that what's in your pantry could be sabotaging your gut health? Yep, ultra-processed foods are everywhere. They're quick, they're convenient, and they're addictive. But they come with a hidden cost to your gut microbiome. And in today's episode, I want to uncover how these foods harm your gut, why they fuel inflammation, and also how you can simply swap to whole foods that can help reclaim your digestive health. So stay tuned. Hey friend, welcome to Gut Fix. Are you ready to finally get rid of those debilitating digestive symptoms? Do you catch yourself staying up late Googling things like, what can I eat? Or how do I stop a flare? Or maybe you're just lying awake wondering, how did this ever happen to me? I'm Wendy, and I've been exactly where you are, desperately searching for answers, but determined to find natural solutions. And like you, I was overwhelmed by all the conflicting information out there and unsure of what might really work for me. And so now in this podcast, I'm here to share with you what I've learned, how to listen to your body's signals, and uncover the common mistakes that might be standing in the way of your healing. So grab your favorite drink, pop in your earbuds, and let's dive into your health transformation together. So welcome back to another episode of Gut Fix. And today I wanted to kind of focus on ultra-processed foods and how they kind of totally disrupt your gut microbiome. I can remember a time when I was constantly exhausted, feeling bloated. I was dealing with some of those unpredictable flares. And at the time, I really didn't think too much about my diet. This was back before I was even diagnosed. But I was eating what I thought was healthy, eating granola bars, maybe grabbing a quick protein shake, something that was prepared, not something that I made myself. And, despite eating what I thought was balanced, my digestion was like totally a mess and I had no energy. And it wasn't until I started to pay attention to food labels. And then I realized that most of what I was eating was ultra processed. It was packed with, artificial ingredients, preservatives, and sugars. That was another big thing that I started to pay attention to. And when I, swapped out, the granola bars for like whole nuts and seeds and started eating my own protein shakes and made my own smoothies and focused on real whole foods, that's when I noticed that my energy started to come back, my digestion improved, and my gut felt calmer than it had in a very long time. And it was truly a wake-up call because I know that honestly, we can all slip back into, habits and get into, it's the convenience is really what it is. And, we can all slip back into that. But just because something is marketed as quote unquote healthy doesn't mean that it's actually nourishing your body. And so, you want to really be careful of that. So, here's the other thing. Why does it matter? So it matters because your gut microbiome is the foundation of your overall health. And if you were to define what ultra-processed foods are, it's foods that are made with additives, preservatives, artificial sweeteners, or added sugar, and they really have little to no real food or whole food ingredients. And so when you think of ultra-processed foods, think of obviously fast foods for sure, but anything that's packaged, like your snacks, like those granola bars, crackers, things like that, sugary cereals, soda, anything like your processed meats, all of those things are ultra processed. And there is research that shows that ultra processed foods actually make up over 50% of the American diet, or the average American diet, or the standard American diet. We call it the SAD diet, right? And so that is kind of alarming. We've become, everything has got to be fast, right? So we just grab and go. And yes, it's convenient. And it's not convenient when it disrupts your gut microbiome, because what it does is it reduces those beneficial bacteria and it increases the harmful strains or the bad bacteria, right? It can also certainly trigger chronic inflammation. And when you have chronic inflammation, of course, that leads to leaky gut. And that's going to really worsen conditions like IBD. But also when you have leaky gut, that's where you have systemic inflammation, because as the tight junctions open up in that gut lining, allowing food particles and stuff that shouldn't be in your body, then your body reacts with inflammation because it doesn't recognize it, right? So it leads to overall systemic inflammation. And then, also they damage the gut lining. They alter your gut bacteria composition. And, there's the other part of that is that ultra processed foods, they lack any kind of prebiotic fiber. And that's what feeds your good bacteria. You need a fiber and that prebiotic fiber to feed the good bacteria. So when you get back to eating whole foods and plant-based foods as well, you're supporting that microbiome diversity. You're adding more fiber, which is going to increase the beneficial bacteria. At the same time, you're reducing inflammation. And so antioxidants and those phytonutrients that you get from the plant-based foods, is also going to help repair your gut lining. And when you're eating whole foods, that's going to promote, obviously, better digestion, better nutrient absorption, but also detoxification. It's going to help with detoxing the liver, and the liver is what does pretty much the bulk of the detoxing for your body. And when you think of foods that help with that, you think of your cruciferous vegetables like your broccoli, your Brussels sprouts, cabbage, things like that, onions, garlic. Those are all things that are going to help with the natural detoxification. And then you want to think about also very gut-friendly foods. Those are going to be your leafy greens, lots and lots of leafy greens, fermented foods like we've talked about in the past, legumes, nuts, seeds. All of those things are going to be very gut-friendly for your gut, very gut-friendly for your gut. And so some of the simple swaps that you can make for a healthier gut are, ditch the sugary cereals. They're out there, they're easy, but they also are very hard on your gut. Opt for things like you can make a chia pudding at night, put them in the refrigerator, very easy to make. Online, you can just Google it and find out how to make them, but it's very, very easy. Opt for that. Even oatmeal is better as long as it's gluten-free. Add some, fresh berries or nuts to it. If you're drinking soda, kind of swap that with, you could try kombucha, as long as it doesn't have too much sugar in it if it's pre-made, and or herbal tea. But also, what I like to do is to get that kind of flavoring in is I'll add some flavored berry electrolytes. So I'm getting my electrolytes because I drink filtered water. So I'm getting my electrolytes, but at the same time, it's adding a little bit of flavor to the water. Also, you can replace any of those processed snacks, like anything that you're eating that would be processed or packaged. Think about eating some nuts. You can even make homemade energy bites. Those are amazing, and just kind of make them for the week. Put them in the refrigerator, and they're just easy to pop in your mouth when you need a quick snack. Cut out the processed meats for sure. Try, even they have what I like to have on hand too is some grass-fed beef sticks. And there's also, you can have some plant-based proteins as well. But here's the thing. You want to just really reduce the ultra-processed foods, because it can have a dramatic effect and dramatically improve your gut health. And so when you're improving your gut health, you're improving your overall health. So maybe try this week. If you find that you are eating a lot of processed foods or ultra processed foods, just try replacing 3 of those this week with a whole food alternative and build on that, because remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. So if you liked what you heard, go ahead and hit the like button. Share it with somebody that you know that could use this information, and also grab my free IBD on the go guide. You can get it by clicking in the show notes below, or by going to bit.ly/IBD guide. That's bit.ly, bit.ly IBD guide. And until next week, stay happy and stay healthy. Hey friend, I hope today's episode brought you some real value. If it did, would you take just 30 seconds to share it with a friend who might be struggling to get her gut in check? And if you're feeling extra generous, leave me a review on Apple. It absolutely lights me up knowing that this podcast is making a difference for you. All right, it's time for me to grab my protein shake and get my gut happy. I'll see you back here next Tuesday for another episode of Gut Fix. And until then, stay happy and stay healthy.